What is up, guys? Today we are back in the garage and we are working on the Impreza wagon. And today we're going to go ahead and install some OEM 2.5 RS side skirts. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so here are a few tools you're going to be needing today. Number 2 Phillips screwdriver, nothing too fancy. Automatic center punch, it does not need to be automatic, but it makes it a little bit easier. File for making the holes after you drill them into a square so you can get your the inserts in. A caliper, you don't actually need the caliper, I'm just using it to take a measurement to figure out what size drill bit I will be using for the retainer. Tape measure, I'm sure we're going to use it eventually. I don't exactly know what we're going to use it for with the way that I'm going to be marking the holes. But if we use it, I'll show you. So masking tape to mark up the side of the body so we know where to drill. And different things I've picked up. I got everything for the hardware store. These are all the old clips. Some of them are good. I mean, most of them are good, but I got all new ones, so they are all good. I tried matching up them to OEM as much as possible. I don't have any of the bottom ones out here, but it's a square nut that goes into the bottom, and then just a number 14 screw to hold the bottom of it on. And then yeah, this is the clips that I found, and these are the originals. So they're not exactly the same, but they should work. And then yes, these will be going on the bottom over these to hold that up, nice fender washer. And then these will be holding on for the front of the skirt to hold in the fender wells. So let's go ahead and get mocked up and take a look. So basically that's what it's going to end up looking like. So we're going to go ahead and take these back off, get the car centered in the garage, and jack it up. So let's get to it. Alright, so there's a few different ways you can go about marking the holes on the rockers. One trick you can do is take a little dab of grease and dab it on the end of each one of the retainers, and then go ahead and hold it up to the side of the car and push it against the rocker. And then when you pull it off, you're going to have a little dab of grease on the body itself, and then that's where you're going to want to go ahead and drill your hole. But a little benefit that I do have, I have a RS in the back garage that I'm going to go ahead and take a strip of masking tape, run it down the whole rocker, punch the holes out, and then come back, put that masking tape against the rocker on the wagon, and then all the holes should be lined up perfect. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here's the rocker here. These are your holes that you're going to be drilling. There's 7 of them on each side. So what I'm going to want to do, this one does not have the front fender on, obviously. So I'm going to line it up kind of to the square part of this and then pull it all the way down. And then when we transfer it back over to the wagon, we'll just have to line it up to the same marks. Okay, so now that you got that on, you can also kind of check if it's actually straight, where the holes line up inside the masking, because obviously those are going to be straight all the way down. So if this side, if the hole's all the way at the top, and on this side it's all the way at the bottom, you're gonna want to readjust the masking tape so you have them all straight. So what I like to do, go ahead and take the screwdriver or anything, punch a hole in there, do all of these. All right, so now that you got that done, you're gonna wanna mark this as the left side. And then you're gonna wanna do the exact same process on the right side, but make sure you obviously mark it so you know which side is which. But then, yeah, you're just gonna go ahead and pull this off and then go ahead and transfer it over to the new car. So let's go ahead and do that. One thing I also forgot to mention, don't forget to mark the center or the starting point of the square portion. On the other side, I forgot to do that. So I went ahead and just put a new one back on there, lined it up and everything, and repunched it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and transfer this over to the other car. All right, so now that I got the masking tape on, I'm gonna go ahead and take a permanent marker and mark the center of each hole, and then go ahead and pull it off, and I'll show you why. Okay, so now that you got that off, so I couldn't really tell if this was up as high as what it was on the other one, but what I could tell from the other one is the hole was directly parallel, so like, it's hard to say, but it's basically in the center of the bulge out. So now that I have at least this distance marked out, I can go ahead and drill the holes in the exact spot on the rocker all the way down, even if the masking tape was up a little bit from the original holes that I marked. All right, so the way I'm gonna go about sizing the right drill bit is I'm gonna take the caliper and check the shank size. So we're about 0.282 inches, and then I'm gonna go through and find a little bit bigger drill bit. So that one's a little bit smaller. Go up to 19/64. So that one, I'll probably end up going with the 19/64. If they are super tough to get in, then I might go ahead and upsize it. But for right now, this is the size that I'm gonna go ahead and do. So let's get to drilling some holes. All right, before we end up drilling the holes, this is where we're gonna use our center punch. So you're gonna find your spot where your mark is, and that's when you're gonna go ahead and put it on there. Get it lined up perfect, and let it set. And then that way, when you take your pilot bit, the drill won't walk around and slide off your material. So let's go ahead and get all these center punched and then go back and drill it. All right, so now that you got those all pre-drilled, you're gonna wanna move up to your final size. You don't have to go up to this. You could go in maybe 2 steps where instead of going pre-drill and then your full size. But I think I should be good here. So let's go ahead and get them to the final size. All right, now that all of those are all drilled out, we're gonna go back and deburr all these holes, and then you're gonna want to take some sort of paint to make sure that none of this is raw metal to prevent it from rusting. A trick also to taking the burrs off of the holes, go up a few sizes and drill bit, and then just go really easy, and it'll just take off just the outsides of the hole. A nice beveled edge. All right. Now that that's done, this is when you're gonna want to add the paint. So I just happen to have some touch-on paint for the vehicle. It doesn't have to be anything special. Just prevent it from rusting. All right, now that we got that finished, we can go ahead and throw some new clips in each one of the side skirts and go ahead and start test fitting. All right, so to go ahead and start test fitting this, you have to do the rear first. So let's go ahead and get to that one. Alright, so that's the rear on. So let's go ahead and try the front. Awesome. Well, that's on. So now we'll go ahead and turn the wheel, and we'll put the screws in here and then start marking the bottom holes. Even though I got new stainless hardware, I'm gonna put some anti-seize on it just for peace of mind. And these ended up being 1032 screws, so they are not metric, they're standard. All right, perfect. And I did notice that I have one missing here, so we'll go ahead and put this in as well. Hopefully this washer isn't too gnarly. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and get underneath and start marking out those holes. All right, so now that we're underneath the car, this one, we're gonna have to push it back and then we can line it up. But that one we'll be able to just put an insert in that's into the front fender here. But all of these holes, we're gonna go ahead and mark that out, mark out the center of the hole while you're holding it tight against the pinch weld, and then mark the center of each one of these holes all the way down Just, yeah, obviously hold it tight against there and then mark your hole. And then that's where you're gonna that's where you're gonna end up drilling into the bottom and making each one of these a square. So your license plate nut inserts, the plastic nylon inserts, can go in there and then not turn so when you're tightening it in. So let's go ahead and mark these out and get to drilling. All right, this is gonna be the same process about figuring out what size drill bit I need. I switched over to millimeters, but you see the collar right here. These are gonna go through, expand out, and this is gonna be the resting size here. So it'd be 9.8 millimeters, and this is about the closest drill bit, 9.84 millimeters, so that's close enough for sure. So yeah, we're gonna end up drilling this, and then I'm gonna end up taking a carbide bit on the Dremel to make the square out of it once I get this put in there. Safety glasses are a 100% necessity when drilling. So this one I'm using pilot bit, and then this second bit to get a little bigger, and then I'll go to my final size. All right, so now that that's drilled out fully, we can go ahead and take the Dremel tool and make it into a square shape. So let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. So yeah, I went ahead and drilled it out and then ground out the corners to make it into a square. So let's go ahead and put the little insert in behind the side skirt itself, and then we'll get a fender washer on here and then screw into that. Hopefully the camera angle isn't too terrible, but I don't really know how else to get this so you guys can have half a clue on what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a hammer and tap that in a little bit, because with the rubber undercoating, it's making it a little tough. All right, perfect. Now that we can tell that's fully seated up there, we can go ahead and put that down, and then we'll grab the screw and the washer and tighten that up. Well, I'm gonna end up using a smaller washer here. I didn't realize it would be this big, so we'll end up swapping that out soon. But you guys understand the gist of it. That'll go up, tighten it up, and then hold her tight to the bottom of the car. So let's get to doing the rest of them. now that that's all done, we can go ahead and start grabbing the hardware and some smaller fender washers and get this fully mounted. So that's basically what we're ended up wanting to look like here. I only found one stainless washer here, so I'm gonna have to end up running to the store. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and start on the other side, because I think, other than fully mounting it, this side is complete. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump to the other side. Let's drill. Go and install some new clips. Awesome, that seems to fit up really well. So we're gonna go ahead and move it on to throwing in these. And then we'll go ahead and start drilling everything. I didn't see this one on the other side, but I went ahead and installed it off camera. So that one is in now. Perfect, so yeah, that fits up good. We're gonna go ahead and slide under and then start marking them out and drilling it. Yeah, those are looking a lot better now that they're fully mounted. Everything looks really straight. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting out the stands, and maybe we can roll it out and get a better look at it. So what do you think, guys? Got them all on there. The gaps look awesome. They line up perfectly. Honestly, in my opinion, I think they're a lot wider than I anticipated. They look a lot wider off camera, but I think they look awesome. I mean, for an OEM side skirt, I think it looks really good. I think it looks good when you have like a meaty tire in there, so you can actually see the tire. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it went really well. Let's check out the other side. Yeah, same thing, perfect. So yeah, it went really good. I'm gonna go ahead and take some, let's see, what is it called? Back to black. That's what I ended up doing these with. So I'll end up doing these as well as the door handles, all the plastic trim, black plastic trim I'll end up doing. But yeah, that looks awesome. So catch you next week. Got a little teaser right here. Got the bumper back. Yeah, it looks gnarly. It's perfect. So, all right. Awesome, guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.